Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Pillar to Post. And this is May 3rd, 2017. I'm your host, Pete Wall. And I want to start off with saying welcome, vidme.com followers, as well as YouTube subscribers and viewers alike. And if you haven't done so yet, please follow on vidme.com or subscribe if you have not on youtube.com. Now, today there isn't a whole lot of news, and so I'm going to do things a little bit different. I've got another article about Adam Cole and what his future might be in professional wrestling. So I figured, why not get the fans' reactions to the news of where he's going, and if they care and what they think of him being either in WWE or anywhere else. So I'm going to do that today, and that's going to be the last segment of the show today. But yesterday, I went and I did a story about Sean Waltman, also known as X-Pac or Six-Pac if you remember his WCW name. He was arrested at an airport for drug possession, marijuana, and methamphetamines. And there was other reports and other sources last night. They reported on it as well. So I'm going to do that. But this morning, Sean Waltman made his own statement about the whole situation. And I'm going to bring that to you as well as Kurt Angle news and what he believes might happen with him wrestling in WWE again. We got rumors of the day, and there was something else, but I'll get to it anyway. You know I will. So we're going to kick this off with Sean X-Pac Waltman and his arrest. So several sources have now confirmed Waltman was arrested on Saturday, April 29th at Los Angeles International or Internation Airport. I don't know if that's right. Internation? If you know if it's correct, just PW Insider says they've confirmed it was a felony arrest and that he was released on Sunday under a $35,000 bond. Waltman is now scheduled to appear at LA Municipal Court on May 25th regarding the charges. TMZ Sports claims the arrest came when the 44-year-old was found with marijuana and methamphetamines going through customs. Their story also indicates officials discovered an outstanding warrant for Waltman stemming from an old DUI arrest. Waltman struggles with addiction Waltman struggles with addiction are well documented, but aside from medicinal cannabis use, he's been in treatment and stating that he's clean for several years now. Since the arrest was revealed, he's been on social media denying that he's using again, and that went as follows. I've had a crazy weekend. I'll get into it on the show Wednesday. Way too much to tweet about. Still mentally strong and healthy. No relapse. He also appeared on the Tomorrow Show with Kevin Undergaro, I believe that's the way it's pronounced, where he is a regular guest, and discussed the situation with hosts Shiana Marie and Roxy Stryer. So, to make it 100% clear though, Sean, just so you don't get more tweets about this, you are not using meth. Waltman responded by saying, nope, I wasn't using anything, nothing, no relapse. Maria asks, clean, sober? And Waltman responded, well, besides cannabis, that's all I use. It goes back and forth like that, him denying whatever. And then we get a PW Insider obtained a copy of the arrest report for 5 counts of possession of narcotics intended for sale. Waltman was arrested after a K-9 officer alerted officers to the presence of narcotics in his luggage. Officers had decided to investigate Waltman's luggage as he was previously on a watch list with the United States Customs and Border Protection Agency. The search of his bags revealed 15 white meth and amphetamines pills, 23 multicolored meth pills, 2 THC liquid cigarettes, 56 THC capsules, and 3 cannabis chocolate bars. Man, you're going to be feeling good after all that. Now, given that Waltman told them he was slated to return to Los Angeles on May 1st, the officers made the determination that the amount of pills exceeded the amount any person can consume in that time period. The officers then decided that the narcotics plus the $736.10 Waltman was carrying were evidence of narcotic sales. Wow, do they go to the extreme. You know, I've got family that deals drugs. And I know them pretty well. And if a cop arrested them for suspicious of sales, they would have a hell of a lot more than $736. You know, this is customs, so... But the story continues. Now, Sean Waltman, on his arrest, he speaks out about it and why agents claim that he had meth, if he does any drugs today, and a little bit more. So, as noted, Sean X-Pac Waltman was arrested this Saturday at the Los Angeles International. See, they actually wrote it correctly on this report. Waltman was flying to the UK for an independent wrestling appearance when he was charged with a felony drug possession for allegedly attempting to bring meth and marijuana through customs. Now, TMZ Sports uploaded their full interview with Waltman regarding the incident. As seen in the video above, which I'm not going to show you, Waltman said that the substance that he had in his possession was Candida Cleanse capsules that he obtained from Vitamin Cottage and are not methamphetamine. He said that he was taking the capsules because he's had a yeast infection for the past year. And let me tell you this, if you're going to laugh at that, it is true. A guy can get a yeast infection, especially if they are diabetic or if they have other injuries where their body doesn't heal as quickly as it should. Yeast infection can be brought on pretty quickly. So, that is not impossible because I have suffered from that because I am diabetic. Waltman, who has dealt with substance abuse issues in the past, said that he understood why people may not believe his story. With my past, I can totally understand anybody rolling their eyes at my story. Excuse me. Waltman said, once the lab work comes back, this should be all cleared up. But in the meantime, oh, what a mess, man. What a mess. Now, Waltman, who is on a Customs and Border Patrol watch list for narcotics, said that the agents claimed that capsules were meth so that they could apprehend him. Otherwise, they would have had to let him go. When asked if there is a chance that there is methamphetamine in the capsules, Waltman replied, only if they put it in there. Waltman also discussed his past addiction to methamphetamine. And he says, I was one of the worst meth heads ever, Waltman admitted. If I was back doing that, there is no way I could have the life that I have right now. My life is amazing. This is just a hiccup in the road. I'm still clean, besides the cannabis. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs. My diet is probably better than just about anybody's. Now, Waltman noted that his attitude was great and that he sat in solitary confinement at the airport with a smile on his face because he knows that the truth will eventually come out. And I hope it does, because you look at a lot of these retired wrestlers and superstars and the drug problems that come along with the toll they put on their bodies as well as the lifestyle they lived. They were party animals. You know, especially like you listen to the stories of DX back in the day. They were party animals. Same with the NWO guys. Same with Hulk Hogan back in the day. These guys love to party. They're on the road all the time. So they need to have a little bit of release. Fucking fly. And when they're done with the wrestling business, they still continue with it. And because they're already by that time addicted. I know what it means to be addicted to painkillers, so I know what they go through. But I wish him the best. That's all I do. I hope that he's back on the crap that he was on before. Nobody needs to go down with meth in their system. It's just a really nasty fucking road to travel. We're going to go with rumors for the day next. And now I'm trying something new, so forgive me if I fudge stuff up a little bit. But yeah, rumors of the day is Brock Lesnar is expected to be around more during this Universal Championship run, according to the Observer. Now, don't they have it wrong already? Because he's already taking a 3.5 month sabbatical, sitting on his ass, letting that title collect dust. It continues, although so far only Great Balls of Fire and SummerSlam plans are set for him. They forgot about WrestleMania. They want him to fight Roman Reigns there, don't they? It's also expected Lesnar will have title defenses against the likes of Braun Strowman, which we already know, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns at the very least. Chris Jericho was written off television on SmackDown Live yesterday, but he is expected back this year. After a brief push, it looks like WWE has no immediate plans for Luke Harper, or, for that matter, Eric Rowan. It also looks like TJ Perkins will now only be known as TJP. Okay, so let me go over this first one. It's not really a rumor now, is it? Brock Lesnar taking a 3.5 month layover with the title. I don't understand it. You know, if someone gets injured while they win the title and they have to take that time off to recover, they strip them of that title right away. They have to give it back, and then they have like a tournament or a fatal 4-way to determine the new champion. This guy, though, wins the title at WrestleMania, and we don't get to see him again until this Great Balls of Fire bullshit pay-per-view that they invented. So, what does that fucking mean? Nothing. It means nothing. The Universal title is basically just garbage at this point. There's no point of even like considering it being elevated with Brock Lesnar as a champion. And you know what? To all those that claim that Brock Lesnar makes that Universal title legit, you go fuck yourself. Seriously. Because how does someone make it credible? You can have all the experience in the world. You can be championships. You can have championships in any other sport and come back to WWE. And just because he has that experience, he makes that title credible, but yet doesn't defend it on a regular basis or at least a monthly basis. Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. To all you knuckleheads out there and knuckle draggers and mouth breathers that think that guy makes the Universal title credible, get a fucking clue. That's all I got to say about it. Get a fucking clue. Because Brock Lesnar adds no credibility to that title by sitting his ass at home, collecting a huge fucking paycheck for doing nothing. This guy got paid millions upon millions of dollars to sit his ass at home and let dust collect on that Universal title. And, you know, yes, it's an ugly title. It's a stupid fucking name for a title. But give me a break. If you want it to mean something, it's got to be a title that is fought over and people desire it. And right now, nobody desires it because it just sits collecting dust. As for him battling the likes of Finn Balor and Seth Rollins, okay, I want to say this right now. I am a Finn Balor fan. I'm somewhat of a Seth Rollins fan. I think he needs to find himself a little bit more, though. Finn Balor versus, and you know what, for that matter, Seth Rollins as well. Battling a guy the size, the fight experience, the real fight experience of Brock Lesnar. And they are going to, what? Have these guys, little guys, go over? I know they've done it with Seth Rollins before, but he didn't technically pin Brock Lesnar. He pinned his opponent, Roman Reigns. when he cashed in his Money in the Bank. But Finn Balor, come on, give me a break. These guys are too small. Look at the injuries they've already sustained. A real move is applied. They're going down. They're getting hurt. It's not believable. It is far from believable. Can a little guy beat a bigger guy? Yes, they can. But not in this case, no. We all know Chris Jericho had a send-off yesterday. They went out with a beautiful storyline of an injury at the hands of Kevin Owens. I like that. Worked out good. But this bullshit of them having nothing to do with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Okay, if you don't have any storylines available or anything available for these guys as single competitors, bring them back together. Find a storyline that will link these guys back together. Bring them back as a tag team. You need more tag teams in your tag team division. You need to start building that up. Have these guys come back. They don't need to be the Wyatt family anymore. They can be something else. Bray Wyatt's over on Raw. Let these guys come up with a new gimmick. They don't need to be followers anymore. They can be a unit. Other than that, that is the only way I can go about it. Luke Harper proved he can go at the top level competitors. He proved that he is main event material, but they're not ready for that yet. He doesn't have the right look. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have that. I don't give a damn about the looks. Look at my face. This face was made for radio, and I'm looking in the camera right now. Sorry. But, and they view Eric Rowan and Luke Harper as such as well. They don't look like champions. Well, who the fuck gives a shit what they look like? It's what they do and what they say and how they do it that makes us believe if they're champion material or not. Not because they have a big wild ass fucking beard. Give me a break. Or a stained shirt. The guy even cleaned up a little bit. He went and put on a clean wife beater shirt. Give me a break. As for TJP, WWE has had this for a while now. They love to shorten everyone's name. I don't understand it. I don't like it. But I don't really care about it either. So, really, what do I really care if he wants to be called TJP or not? Up next, we're going to go with Samoa Joe on if he had a meeting with Vince McMahon. Also, why he stayed in NXT so long. And his desire to face Brock Lesnar. So, just let me have a sip of my coffee here and I'll get right into it. So, former WWE United States Champion Chris Jericho recently caught up with fellow WWE superstar Samoa Joe. Among other things, Joe talked about why he stayed in NXT for as long as he did, when he found out he was headed to the main roster, whether he has had a sit-down meeting with WWE Chairman Vince McMahon yet, and the possibility of a match with current WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. So according to Joe, he, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke Nakamura stayed in NXT longer than anticipated because NXT became a third touring brand that needed their star power to sell tickets. The Destroyer went on to compare NXT to Ring of Honor and ECW as far as being rated for talent. And he said, I want to say almost close to 2 years. Yeah. But I think a part of that too was about driving the brand. And I think that was kind of the issue with myself, Finn, and Nakamura. We were kind of these mainstays. It was a touring brand at this point, and it was like I felt kind of needed, or like they kind of needed us. Bayley is another consummate player, just it was kind of what people showed up and paid to see. I believe that. Joe added, NXT is at a level now where it is a third touring brand within the WWE spectrum, and you have to now produce talent that have the risk of being gone. I liken it to a Ring of Honor or an ECW where it's like you build these huge stars, but eventually opportunity comes calling, and now you have to start from scratch. And which is exactly what NXT is being used for. Now, although going to the main roster became an unspoken thing for the SoCal native, he was told to get ready for the jump at NXT TakeOver Toronto and got the game plan for his debut over Royal Rumble weekend. Samoa Joe goes on to say, I think at a certain point it became kind of an unspoken thing. And then, I remember, I want to say going probably after Toronto, Canada, NXT TakeOver. It was mentioned to me, hey, listen there. Are you probably going to be some opportunities for you very soon and elsewhere. So be ready. And I really didn't learn about the debut until the day before the Rumble. Then the plan was kind of laid out to me, and I have to check my phone here. It'll go to voicemail. So Joe indicated that let's start that again, people. I am so sorry. And yes, I do not edit my shit. So Joe indicated that he has not had a formal meeting with Vince McMahon yet, though the Samoan submission specialist is under the impression that meetings with Vinnie Mac tend to be unpleasant. And in Joe's words, we haven't really had a sit-down meeting. We talk in passing, and like, I'm not big on having real long, drawn-out conversations, and I guess that's to my detriment. I'll show up and be like, hey, what do you need? All right, cool, I'm out the door. Let's go get it done, Joe exclaimed. I heard if you have a meeting, 9 times out of 10, it's not a good thing. Now, with respect to Lesnar, Joe stated that he would like to face the Beast incarnate, and that he has the legitimate offense to make such a match work. Joe says, absolutely, I think I've stated it a lot. I think it's something that the fans want to see, and I'd definitely like to get into it with Brock, Joe exclaimed. He's very intense. It has got to be believable. I think that's part of it too, and I do agree. Everything leading up to a Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar match has to be believable. It has to be good enough for the fans to believe in it and want it. And there are a lot of fans right now that want this match. They don't see many other wrestlers as on the level of that Beast incarnate gimmick and the look and the aggressiveness in other wrestlers. It's Samoa Joe that has that same mentality. He's got that look. He's got the drive for it. And watch him in the ring. Look at Brock Lesnar. What is he doing in the ring right now? He throws a few punches, German suplexes. It's all about Suplex City. It's basically one move straight through the entire match with like a couple of knees and punches added in. There's no body slams. There's no like moves. There's no... It's just one-sided, you know, and that's the way it wants to be. That's the way Brock wants it to be. Brock has to be actually willing to accept and listen to plans for a match and make it interesting. And Brock Lesnar has proven that he doesn't like to do that with wrestlers. So I would love to see it. Will we see it? I don't know. And if we do, will it be an actual competitive match, or will it be the normal one-sided bullshit we see from Brock Lesnar as usual? I'm leaning towards, the second. So, but that's my opinion. Now, up next, we're going to discuss a little bit about Kurt Angle, and he addresses his WWE in-ring future. So, WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle was interviewed this morning by WrestleZone Radio's Nick Hausman for this week's episode of WZ Weekly. Kurt Angle had this to say: "They haven't talked to me about it yet. I'm sure they won't until the last second," and he has a little laugh. "That's okay with me. I think what they are doing right now this is just my own opinion. They are monitoring me to see how I am doing. They want to see, is this kid really in recovery? Does he really have his life together? Is he coming here clean? Is he doing okay? Is his health okay? They see me working out at the gym. They see me every Raw doing what I have to do. They are saying, prove to us that you are okay. And my TV went out for a little bit. That you are okay and we can give you what you want. I'm cool with that. I understand that. I understand they are going to drug test me continuously. It's no more than anybody else, but they are going to. It's one of those things where they are going to monitor me and see how I do. I don't think it's an issue of if they are going to. I think it's a matter of when. That's my opinion, but I will be wrestling down the road at some point. It might not be this year. It might be next year. I don't know. They haven't said a word, but my guess is I will wrestle again in WWE. I just don't know when. I'm a huge Kurt Angle fan. I love his wrestling style. He mixes up with the amateur wrestling as well as professional wrestling. He's done he's had a wonderful career. He is a Hall of Famer for a reason. You know, he might not have had the longest run in WWE before he got inducted into the Hall of Fame like some other wrestlers, but he deserved to be inducted because of everything he's done in the wrestling business. This guy is... You look at his match with Brock Lesnar years ago, and it was a competitive match. It was a great match. You look at any of his recent matches back in Impact Wrestling, they were pretty good, you know. So I want to see him wrestle. I look at him as another guy coming in, a part-timer. If he does start wrestling, are we going to get, like, just see him grab the title and then he's off like Brock Lesnar? I don't want to see that stuff anymore. I really don't. I enjoy his wrestling style. But I know at his age, he can't do a competitive touring like the other younger generation can. So, like I said, it's a matter of what is he going to do when he comes back inside the ring and work the ring. I don't know. I really don't. But up next, we are going to discuss a little bit more about Adam Cole's future. Now, as noted, former Ring of Honor champion Adam Cole's contract with Ring of Honor officially expired over the weekend, making him a free agent able to sign with any promotion of his choosing. Dave Meltzer reported on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio that everybody wants Adam Cole right now. And while it's likely he will end up in WWE, him signing with the company is not a guaranteed lock at this point. Meltzer added, New Japan Pro Wrestling is also very interested in Cole. Cole is still scheduled to face Hiroshi Tanahashi at Ring of Honor's War of the Worlds pay-per-view on May 12th. And even though his Ring of Honor deal has officially expired, he could be used for sporadic Ring of Honor dates as well as other independent dates unless he signs with WWE. I'm going to get into a little bit more of the Adam Cole because, like I said, I'm going to have some fans' reactions to this news. Now, I forgot to upload a picture to this, but that's okay. We're going to move on. There is a big deal made out of this. It was dubbed the match of the century, which I think is a little bit much. I think it's milking the match a little bit. It was a great match, don't get me wrong. It was like an intense match between Kenny Omega and Okada. But now they are going to headline NJPW Dominion this June in Kenny Omega versus Okada 2. So the bout many have called the greatest professional wrestling match of the modern era will finally get its sequel. And it will happen this summer at NJPW Dominion. It has been 5 months since Kenny Omega and Okada went to war in the main event of the Tokyo Dome in an epic battle for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship that was rated 6 stars by the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Something that has never officially been seen before. Since then, the world-class performers have gone their separate ways. Omega has wrestled 2 instant classic matches against the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, That and any other year would be serious candidates for the highly contested Match of the Year spot, while Okada has successfully defended his title in masterpieces against the likes of Minoru Suzuki, Kota Ibushi, under the Tiger Mask with character, and Katsuyori Shibata. I believe that's the way you pronounce it. I'm an idiot if it was wrong. This weekend, or this Wednesday, at the annual NJPW Wrestling Dontaku event, Okada retained his title yet again in a punishing slugfest against the 340-pound underboss of the Bullet Club and one of the group's founding fathers, Bad Luck Fale. In the closing moments of the show, Omega was seen assisting his faction partner to the back, but it was the reigning champion that demanded he return to the ring. After a stare down between the two, Okada made it official. It will be Okada versus Omega 2 at NJPW Dominion on June 11th, live from Osaka Joe Hall. So, if you loved, which I did, if you loved the first match between these guys, you are going to enjoy seeing them do it again. Will it be better? Who knows? Some say sequels are worse than the original, but when it comes to wrestling, it can be even better. But it all depends on if they're willing to work together again and work to the point where they outdo what they did last time. But I want to see it. I do. I am that type of guy that would want to see that match again because they did excel. Now, I wouldn't go so far to say as they had match of the century, because that's pushing the envelope just a little bit, but I can see why they do it for promotional uses. Now, as I said, I'm going to bring to you a little bit of the fan response to Adam Cole's possibility of coming to WWE. Now, I'm not going to read the fans' names, but I will read their comments. And the first one goes like this, and this was posted 2 hours ago. Adam Cole is god-awful. We already got Finn. We don't need another guy with a pre-adolescent body. I thought that one was pretty cute. Second one. This was posted an hour ago. Love Cole on the mic, but yes, agreed. He looks like he's lost a ton of muscle, and he was not big to begin with. Also, I don't get the Smarks obsession with Finn. He's not that good, and again, way too small to be taken seriously. I laugh at the thought of him versus Lesnar and laugh at the thought of Finn going over on Brock. Next one. I've only seen a couple of Cole matches, but he defines vanilla midget for me. I feel like there are 1,000 boring little white guys who do slappy kicks that could fit his role just as well. Very, very good one. Now, another one. I'd be shocked if his future employer isn't WWE. I'd be like, oh really? That sounds fishy to me. He's definitely going for the bucks while he's young. He's an elite player after all. Next one. So this last one said he's in it for the money. Well, if you're not in it for the money and the fame and to become a champion or a main eventer, then you've got something wrong with you. Next one. If he goes to NXT, then I would bring him in as a wealthy investment banker or a CEO for some tech firm. Bobby Roode was saying that he wants to fill the seats with rich, important people. So have Adam Cole come in as one of his business partners or something. Someone trying to be creative. He continues, for the sake of making money, WWE is the obvious choice. I'd rather see him somewhere else that actually needs better talent and will make the most of him since the WWE is pretty much full already. And the last one. Yeah, go to WWE and become the next Dolph Ziggler. At least the money will be good and you'll get your WrestleMania moment maybe. There was more. There was a lot more. And some of it was good. Some of it was really, really bad. Now, I can see why the fans are a little bit against all these smaller guys coming in, getting these big pushes and fighting big guys and defeating them. It doesn't really make sense. They're kind of overdoing it a little bit. I see Adam Cole in the Intercontinental or U.S. division. You know, in that mid-range division area, you know, the mid-card. I don't see him being a Universal Champion or a World Champion. I don't see that. It really doesn't look plausible. Now, if all WWE was filled with these little guys, like the last guy called Vanilla Midgets. Now, I've heard that from JD's channel. I always assumed that he just liked to use it. I have never ever heard anyone else use that term before, and it gives me a little laugh every time I hear it. But, you know, I just don't see him as the top guy. I really don't. Maybe in NXT where they're developing people, but not on the main card. No, I don't see it. You might disagree with me. You might agree. I don't know. I don't really care. I've got the mic. You don't. So my opinion is worth more right now. No, I'm just kidding with you. But you tell me your thoughts. Do you agree that Adam Cole just does not fit the main event level, as in fighting for the Universal title or the SmackDown World title? Like, does it even look plausible? Even Finn Balor, for that moment, for that matter, him versus Brock Lesnar just does not go off right. I don't see it. I can't imagine it in my head to make that match look good. But that is this edition of Pillar to Post. I thank you for joining me, and we are going to be back tonight with our NXT review and results show. So I'll see you then. Have a good day. And I am going to get back out there working on my son's Dodge Polaris. So I will see you later on tonight. Have a good day.